Okay, welcome to the channel. Welcome to Some Random Guy Speaks. I am your host, Tony G, and we're going to be talking about another knock 'em out of the park topic. Do you agree that the Democratic Party is trying to destroy America? It's pretty evident now, and we're going to talk about it, right? Be something to talk about. All this other stuff. The number one thing that should be talked about is what the Democrat Party has done, been doing, and what they're trying to do now, right? That's what matters. This is what we should be talking about, ladies and gentlemen. All this other stuff, yeah, it's good to know the news and all that stuff, which I stay up on the news. I try to stay up on most things, most topics, especially for what I'm doing now. But at the same time, right? I don't see that we should be having more of an uproar in the MAGA community, right? And this is where I kind of got to lean on you MAGA supporters as well a little bit more, because we have to be talking about this thing. Do you realize what the Democratic Party has been doing? They've been doing this for such a long time. This has been over 100 years that we've been dealing with this nonsense. The Democrat Party is responsible for rigging elections. This gerrymandering stuff that they've been doing that stuff. They also been stealing our taxpayer dollars from day one after 1913. They set it in law where we have to pay taxes in America. They convinced and fooled everybody that taxes was lawful. They even changed the 16th Amendment, right? They created that and put that in there. So therefore we don't have, they basically tried to disarm us, telling us that paying taxes is lawful. The money don't go where it's supposed to be. And then how in the hell are we allowed to have a central bank running the operative in America, right? How is the Federal Reserve Bank American, which is not? It's a private banking institution, always have been. How is it and why is it that people from government, our treasury, right? They always have to borrow money from who? They have to borrow it from the Federal Reserve, right? This is the thing, borrowing money from the Federal Reserve Bank at high, exuberant amounts. We're talking about interest. No wonder $36 trillion interest, that we're starting to think about. Look at what's going on, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to walk down everything that they've been doing. I'm talking about these low down demo KKK rats. You know what I'm saying? Like I said before, the people that I posted up there are the same people I posted up yesterday on my live. And these people are not the elites, but what they are is that the real people behind these people that you guys see, like your Obamas and all the rest of them, it's the people that are not elected. These are just their pawns, right? These people are not the people for real. The people that is running everything, right? Especially on the left, they ran all our politicians, every last one of them, right? These are your fascists, the people's faces that you guys are seeing right now that I post. Here's your fascists right here. These are your fascists. Your people right here that you're looking at right now are your fascist people. They have always been against American people. Look at what's going on. We don't get $36 trillion debt for nothing. They hijacked our treasury. They made it into law that we are not allowed to print our own money. Who's printing the money? Federal Reserve. Federal Reserve don't belong to the government. It's a private institution. It's called the central bank. Been established since 1913. And this is why you think that what Trump is trying to do? Because he knows that he has to go after the Federal Reserve Bank. We have to get the bank out of America. It should have never been a part of, it's not even a part of America. But it's these high gangsters, these bankster crooks that hijacked our country and hijacked its treasury, right? You just up here printing money, printing money, printing money, and you ain't backing no gold and no silver, no precious metals, but you just printing money, printing money, printing money. You know what I'm saying? No wonder. And then what do? They pay for these politicians. These politicians do not work on behalf of the people. They work on behalf of the banksters, your corporate cronies. This is fascism, ladies and gentlemen. What the hell are they talking about? I said this time I'm going to break this stuff down again, what fascism is. And everything I'm saying is what is true. This is what's going on. You know, these people are the faces that you recognize and see. But the people that's pulling the strings for real, and these are the people that lick the boots, right? These are their lapdogs. Man, the people that you don't, that we haven't elected, they got their hands so far up Barack Obama's asshole. He's the fucking dummy. He's the puppet, right? This is what it is right here. Thank you for the like. I appreciate it. Are they or have they? We know that they have been. The Democratic Party has been totally responsible for trying to destroy America. And they got paid off. They're corrupt. They took oaths to get in this office. And what did they do in return? Turn it down. They turned it down. They were going to work on the behalf of the people. No, they're working on behalf of themselves and their masters, right? This is what's going on. You know, just like Antifa is in control, a lot of your politicians are as well too. They always have been. They never worked on behalf of the people. Why do you think they hate Donald Trump so much? Talking about heated fascists. When we've been having fascism here way before Trump was ever came into office. It's going to keep it 100. And that old low down ass Barack, man, please. You know, he ain't by himself. Look at him. Look at these people. All these people are people, especially from the left, that voted for. This is your people y'all voted for. I didn't vote for none of them. But this is the people you voted for. This is the people that claim to have America's back. When we've been over here paying taxes, creating and starting wars, right? They bought up by the pharmaceutical industry. Look at Bernie, pitiful Bernie Sanders and all the rest of them, right? Look at them. Look at their faces. This is your people right here. These are your pawns behind. We don't see the people that's really the deep money backers. How you think they are able to stay in position long as they can? A lot of these people hold law degrees, right? They know legalese, right? They're not looking out for the American people. They are looking out for the people, which is the establishment, the architects that set this shit up, and to keep their fucking job, right? They do the bidding, right? George Soros, there's many of them besides him and Eric Kessler and things like that, as well as Bill Gates. There's so many of them, man. We're talking about the billionaires roundtable of these people that never liked America. They hated America, and their job is to bring America down. The great, what do they call it? The New Green Deal, the economical reset, right? This was all of the plan. This was their 6-year plan that they were trying to do to destroy America, right? These are your fascists right here. So I love it when they want to say, oh, yeah, Trump a fascist. When the fascist is right here, these people that you're looking at, these are your fascists. I tell it to them to their face. They're fascists. They are. And Tulsi Gabbard keep coming out with the truth because we know that the people that's on this photo here is on that list as well. You want the Epstein? Some of these people possibly, right, allegedly may be on that list, right? Let's go ahead and keep it real, right? See, I love it when they talk about Epstein files and stuff like that. That ain't my Achilles heel. Shit, let's talk about it, right? Because this should be all that should be talked about. All this other bullshit don't mean nothing. You got to know who's the conspirators and the provocateurs that is sabotaging America, stealing the wealth of the American people. You know, this is why we don't have ish and shit, right? Because of these bastards right here. Every last one of them. They have enriched themselves. They live in gated communities as well. They send their children. The children never really have to work. The low down ass lobbyists and the deep dark money donors make sure their children don't ever have to work. You think Bernie Sanders' children work? Hell no. Bernie Sanders' children is set for life. He ain't the only one. You know, they children, right? Talking about a lot of their children. All they do is probably just sit around here and doing nothing. They ain't doing nothing helping America. It's the opposite. They are all on the take, ripping Americans off. And I'm pissed off because they've been living high off of the hog, ripping the American people off. And all roads lead to Obama. And I say that with 10 toes down. Because where's going to be a day when we see his ass on that indictment and get his ass arrested, that big-eared galoot. We're talking about the fallen Messiah and the great deceiver is Barack Obama. He's at the number one heap at the top of the political party. It goes deeper than that. But I'm just saying, as far as political thing, he is the architect behind it. He is the main culprit. He is the one, right? This is exactly what it is, right? Obama. I want y'all to know today, if you don't know anything else, the faces you see on my thumbnail, this is what fascism look like. These are the ones that were against America. We had to pay taxes. They stole our taxes. USAID, we were never allowed to know about a lot of these slush funds, right? They have been ripping us off for a long time. And they need to pay back that money, which they ain't. That's why we say treason is better for them. Here's your treasonous people right here. Treasonous people stealing from our health care. I see health care there. What about Affordable Care Act? I'm talking about what I'm talking about right now. This is more important because when you ask these questions about health care, that goes right into who the F you think was ripping off health care. It was these bastards. Come on now. Stop being stupid. Follow me here now. Come on now. You should know this. The healthcare system was wicked as fuck. It was over here, and then you want to give it to illegal aliens. Come on now. Follow me here now. Come on, McFly. Get with it. Come on, get with it. Right? You should be outraged. These are the faces of treason. Come on now. You think any of these people I'm showing right now love you? No, they don't. Anytime these people, these individuals can go against a sitting president, right? They are the ones. They are the fascists. They are the ones behind Antifa. A lot of them are Antifa members. Come on now, get with it, McFly. Come on now. Shit. When you want to bring up healthcare, all this stuff, look at the people that I'm showing you. They are the culprits. And we're not going to deflect today. We're going to stay on this topic and we ain't moving one iota. Right? This is where our problem is. Until all these individuals are locked up in prison for treason, and I will not stop, I will not rest until there's retribution, right? Because they all got to pay for what they sow. What you weep is what you sow. You got sow what you weep, however it goes. They got to pay it back, and that's what I want. You know, it ain't good enough for me for indictments, not arrests, but we're talking about for treason, right? That's what this is. The stuff they did is treasonous, right? What they did to the American people, levying wars against America, right? This is what they did, created coups, ambushed our soldiers. Look at Benghazi. You know who was behind Benghazi, right? Look at Afghanistan. Look at all of the military equipment that was left in Afghanistan alone. They told that whole Iraq thing was a money grab. Halliburton, Dick Cheney, Bush, come on now. They wanted us in these forever wars, pushing mandates on us and COVID-19 and vaccines. Look at our quality of life. They've been poisoning us slowly. MSG, right? GMO, right? Look at this type of stuff. They hijacked the medical industry a long time ago. And that's why Americans ain't getting no great health now. Look at the stuff they created. Not only that they created these dangerous disease, heart disease, and all the rest of this shit, right? Diabetes, right? Look at all this stuff that they created. These are the people responsible because it happened under their watch. Let's go ahead and get with it and tell it for what it really is. It happened under their watch. And the people you see right here, who they got who is the donors? The lobbyists. Look at them. Most of your politicians, right, are bought on the left as well as on the right. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it 100. They're bought. This is why your rhino ass Republicans ain't shit. Just like the Democrats. All they are liberals. You know, you think I'm gonna believe the mouth of what they say? You got somebody that's in real time keeping their word to all his policies. They can't even keep their word on shit. This is the #1 story that should be talked about. Somebody got to talk about it. I don't see nobody talking about this shit. Here it is right here. This is it right here, ladies and gentlemen. You are looking at the faces of fascism. They never had our back in America. They hate Americans. They enrich every other nation in the world except for Americans. And that's a fact. Look how many people they enrich. They enrich everybody else except for Americans. Who they sent soldiers? Wasn't no NATO, it was just the United States. All the other military, they didn't really do shit. Who's been carrying these welfare nations, welfare ass countries? It was the United States. You want to talk about healthcare? We were paying high ass rates on healthcare, right? And look who was paying low. Shit, you go to South America right now. You go as far as Cuba. You ain't paying nothing how the Americans are paying. And these people, these bastards that you see, are responsible for. Straight up. They all enrich themselves. Where they get their money from? How did they become millionaires and billionaires? Where they get their money from? Tell me where they get their money from. You go in making what a senator make, what is it, 250, 275,000 a year? How do you enrich yourself when you having millions? How does that happen? How does Nancy Pelosi, we know why, $250 million net worth? It's probably even more than that. Let's go and keep it real. How does a politician, right, gain this type of wealth as a politician? How? Nobody is asking this question. Nobody covering it. Nobody is covering it, ladies and gentlemen. This is the question. Why isn't anyone covering this stuff like they should? We know why the mainstream media won't cover it. But you content creators, come on now. All this other news, I get so tired when they put these thumbnails. I try to keep my thumbnails as, I'm not trying to trick you to watch my channel. But come on, content creators. If it's going to be an arrest, make it an arrest. I hate getting on a channel and I don't see nothing about no arrest. That means you tried to trick me. You tried to trick me. At least I ain't on that. I ain't trying to trick you. They trying to trick me, man. And it'll be nothing related of what the thumbnail print pick has to say. Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, I ain't trying to ignore nobody. I'm over here driving. Mega says treason means that they are in league with foreign enemies. Better to call it what it is, right? Sedition, the undermining of the nation state sovereignty, which is absolutely correct, Omega. Shout out to Omega. How you doing, though, sir? Yeah, man, I felt like this was a little bit, I'm going to do this. We're going to still do that when I get back in the home studio, man. I'm going to do that when I'm going to have you up on here. 'Cause I really want people to hear what this brother, yes, Omega has to say. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, I mean, I get a little passionate, man, about this stuff, and I don't mean to take it out on anybody per se, but I mean, we see enough going on right now in America, man. We see what it really is. You ain't got to be MAGA to see what is up. You see what I'm saying? You really don't. You know what I mean? So that's exactly what it is. But what state is this? Oh, this is beautiful Michigan, man. See how beautiful it is this time of year. See all the trees and the shades and everything. Michigan is known for its trees. It's known for its beautiful splendor. It's known for its lakes, rivers. We got a lot of wildlife here. We actually have eagles here too, believe it or not. We got hawks, red-tailed hawks, herons, sand cranes, you name it. Uh, Deer, as I mentioned. We got possums, skunks, and other type of muskrats, raccoons, of course. But Michigan is known for its big, beautiful lakes. It's 5 beautiful lakes. Just give me a little bit of. We can talk a little bit about it before I go back in, get a little bit of a break. Yeah, Michigan has 5 lakes. You know, so we have Lake Huron, Lake Ontario. We have Lake Michigan, Lake Erie, and Lake Superior, which make up 5. Our lakes are so huge it look like oceans, right? Yeah, we have Mackinac Island, which is up north in Michigan, right? They don't allow once you cross over the bridge, the Mackinac Bridge stretched about 5 miles. When that big bridge was being built, I believe back in the 70s, I think, 60s or one of the two. There's a lot of people that have lost their lives building these bridges and stuff like that. So they did a remarkable job of building the Mackinac Bridge, Mackinac Island, up north, what we call the Upper Peninsula. Where they're known for the fudge. They got that fudge. They also have pasties as well, which is these little. You know what a hot pocket look like? Well, that's what a pasty is. And when we had the coal mining, when mining was going on, when people was working, these were the things that they would give them because they didn't have no time to really eat a regular meal. So they'll just put like beef, protein, and veggie and potato and make it like a pie, though. It's really good. We still sell them today, man. There's a lot of party stores here in Michigan. We call them party stores. They're not, but they're really convenience stores, but they call party stores. There's a lot of drinking going on up here in Michigan too. Michigan have its own IPs as well, and from Detroit to Grand Rapids and some. There's a lot of people that love their beer as well as their liquor here. You go to any liquor store, beer store here in Michigan. Michigan is known for its let's say Coney Island, what we call it, which is nothing more than a diner, and stuff. There's the stables around here is the chili cheese fries, chili hot dog, what you call a Coney dog, which is actually a hot dog on a bun with ground meat. We call that loose burger with onions and mustard. That's what we call a Coney dog. People from Detroit know about that stuff. Detroit has its own pizza, 313 style pizza. It's a between New York style as well as New York and Chicago. And like Jet's Pizza, some of you guys got a Jet Pizza, which started out in Detroit, I believe in 1968, I think. But it's been around for a while. It's a staple around here. Little Caesars started out in Detroit originally under the Mike Itlich and his family, right? He passed away though, but his family still runs the operation. They're the ones that own the Tigers, right? They own the Red Wings, right? They own Domino's Pizza. It's a big family up here, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, this is why you're seeing all this. Look at this beautiful tree here. Look at the leaves here. We are known for our trees, though. Too bad we ain't known for our health here, but the trees, what I'm saying? Keeping it real. Yeah. So this is what you're seeing right here, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, this is basically it right here. Omega says building the Mackinac Bridge. I appreciate it, Omega. I knew he was gonna come in through and help me out. Hold on, did I miss anybody first? Hold on, let me go back up and because I think I missed a few things. I was driving. Let's do this right. Agreed. That's what. Yeah. See you there. I know. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Oh no. Yeah. Oh no. It's that guy. Oh yeah. I like that name. Oh no. It's that guy. I like that. I actually like that screen name, man. Angel Gonzalez says, "What state is this?" Oh wow. Angela Gonzalez says, "Friend works for yeah, CERN over there." Yeah, this is a beautiful. This is a suburb of Detroit. This is Southfield. Angela says a lot of scientists too. LOL. Angela Gonzalez says brother are paid well over there. Depending on what you're into though, I mean Michigan, it's only 6% sales tax here to be honest with y'all. 6% sales tax is doable. Some things are a little bit more expensive here, and some things are less. I find that the housing market have gone up in certain areas, but you can find a nice one bedroom in Detroit for about $700 though. You know what I'm saying? Angel says, cute little white or black girl with a cute little butt. If you saw, I was so concentrated, I probably didn't even see it. Damn, I hate missing something like that. Omega says building the Mackinac Bridge was between May 1954, ended in October 1957, and opened on November 1957. That's what I'm talking about, Omega. Here I am thought it was the 60s or the 70s. Oh man. Oh no, it's that guy. He says, thanks, LOL. Yeah, Garrett B says, Governor Whitmer, great. Wish I had a governor as good as her. Yeah, Governor Whitmer, she's easy on the eyes. She got that big butt. That's why she wear black all the time. You know what I'm saying? And things. I mean, we got other names for her and things, but we have a lot worse than she, you know what I'm saying? Way worse than her. That's why I don't really ever bring her up because you know what I'm saying, we got way much worse than her. She ain't even on the photo here that I put up. Omega says Detroit style pizza is made of what's that? Focaccia bread. Yeah. New York and Chicago bread is crackier, yeah, with a thin cracker crust, right? The Chicago style pie type is for tourists. The real Chicago is square. Yes, it's square, New York. Yeah, I do like some good Chicago pizza. I like the Chicago hot dogs too. I ain't gonna even lie to you, Omega says, yeah, Garrett B. Whitmer is trash. I was gonna let Omega get on that. I would not want her to be the leader of a dog catcher commission. Yeah, she's fucking sucks. Yeah, she fucking sucks. Yeah, I think Whitmer is just easy on the eyes, as I said. That's about it. Yeah, with that big butt, that's yeah, you know, yeah, Governor Gretchen Whitmer, yeah, the one that said she ran off of the campaign, fixed the effing roads, and won. And then when she got in there, make her remember that. And then when she got in here, the roads are not fixed. We still got potholes and salt steady being poured on the damn road in the wintertime. You know that what that salt does, it just eats away the pavement. We got big craters, man, like driving on the moon here, ladies and gentlemen. And then every spring and summer, they come out here and pour the hot tar down. Tar and salt. Here's the enemy of our cement, right? But once again, it ain't coming out of their pockets. Guess who it's coming out of? It's coming out of Michiganders' pocket. Taxes, right? This is this is the type of nonsense that we're dealing with here. Omega says, she is an ugly bitch. Bitch. You need your eyes checked if you think she is trying, which is something anything they're attractive, Tony. I'm just saying though, Omega, I hear what you're saying. I've seen much worse. I'm just gonna keep it real. I know what you're saying though, Omega, but and I know most men, white, black, and other, a lonely night, and I know she would get it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just a realist like that. I'm just keeping it real, man. You know what I'm saying? Omega, one of those lonely nights when ain't nothing, don't you have to be lonely. I'm gonna be honest, let's go and keep it real. You don't have to be even lonely, man. Oh man, it doesn't even have to be lonely. Mm. Even this brother would get with Gretchen Whitmer. I said if I show her photo of oh man, Omega. My thing is was her and her stance on the politics because she's also in cahoots with these clowns that I posted up. Let's keep it real though, she's in cahoots with these clowns. You know, they ain't gonna do nothing no better. And it's just too bad that uh Tudor Dixon didn't win over her or whatever, but nobody knew Tudor. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It was like an endorsement. To me, it was kind of rushed. It was an endorsement at the last minute because Tudor, nobody really knew Tudor Dixon. You know what I'm saying? They didn't know her. I didn't know her. I found out more about Tudor Dixon and Mega from coming from Trump. Like most people, keeping it real. Nobody know what she was about. So yeah. But other than that, though, ladies and gentlemen, before I go back on my topic, we talked about beautiful Michigan. Did I miss anything, Omega, about Michigan? Oh yeah, the cherries. We have some tasty cherries here. We actually have a lot of farmland here. It's very flat in some places. Detroit is in the valley. It actually sits in the valley, right around what is it, sea level? I believe it is. In some areas, you know what I mean. So yeah, it's very flat for the most part of it, though. Also hilly when you start getting in other places and stuff like that. Detroit. Detroit, founded by the Frenchman Sir Lamont Cadillac, right? That founded Detroit, but many French people will pronounce it Detroit. You know, and we have a lot of French names for our roles like Grachet, Beaubien, Shane, Rapier, all these French names that we have, right? Because of the French, right? So this is why, Does an average person in Detroit speak French? Bonjour or comment ça va? Ça va bien? Je m'appelle Tony, No, not everybody here in Detroit speak French. I know, right? I just messing with some of it. But for real, it was founded by a Frenchman, though. So, yeah, they pronounce it as Detroit, Yeah, mail me. Yeah, but other than that, though, so that's about it in regards to Detroit. But moving back on, the people that you see here are the faces of fascism. Man, I should have created the title. I may just call it the faces of fascism right here. The faces that you guys see are the faces of fascism. Every last one of them. And the ones you don't see should be on there, but you can only get so many people on there, man. You can only get so many faces on there because this is how deep and how wide, how deep the corruption is. I mean, we over here eating on sardines and crackers and stuff, no heat. Christmas missed us, dissed us. Birthdays was our worst days. Now we're not even sipping champagne when we're thirsty. You know what I'm saying? That's a shout out to the late notorious B.I.G. May he rest in power. Yeah, one of the best that ever did it. One of them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's the thing about it, man. We are in a fight for the republic in this country here, man. You know, we are in a fight. And this is why, for some of you guys that may not understand the method to the madness, and we can't just foo thinking that these people that I'm showing, it has nothing to do with it. They have everything to do with it. Let me see here. KJ, I'm just going to call you KJ. Michigan has its own Apple. It sure does. Damn, how did I forget that? Detroit is 656 feet above sea level. Messed that up too. That's why I expect for people to correct me now. And most people mispronounce Gratiot. It is actually pronounced gra grash grashort. Grashort. Yeah, for French. Yeah. Boy, you're like my other Omega, oh man. That's what I'm talking about, boy. That's why when I got both, that's why I say I pick good when I have my moderators, boy. That's what's up, boy. But it's good to have people here that knows the facts. Yeah, grat each hole, each hole, grassy hole, grass hole, grass hole. I never really knew how to pronounce grass shit. We always call it grass shit, right? But I know that don't sound French though, you know. She'll be good at this though, I should. What I'm gonna have to do, guys, is I'm gonna have to have you guys up on when I do my next studio live. Mega bit on here before. KT, I'm gonna have you on here too. Not grad stop. Grad stop. Grad hole. Grassy hole. Grassy hole. Grassy hole. Grass. No grat. Just e-hole. E-hole. No grat. Grat. E-hole. Am I getting a little better? Am I getting a little bit better? Boy, I tell you, man, the words yeah, I'm gonna see it. This is me, Omega. Okay, get it the same person. I'm about to say I'm about to say Omega. I said it sound like Omega. That's all good, man. It's all good. Yeah, it's all good. Hmm. Yeah, yeah, you got monetary rights and stuff, so it's all good, man. Yep. Not even close. Yeah, same person, not even close. I know, right? Oh man. Uh-huh. I know, right? But I can always tell your when you the way that when you type stuff and it's with your personality, even though I talk to you over the phone, I can see, So because I didn't know, I mean, there's a lot of personalities that come in this room, but yeah, for sure, your YouTube is glitching. You have to pronounce the T at the end. Grass, grat, then E, and then Holt. Grat, E, Holt. Grat, then E, and then Holt. Holt. Grat, then the E. Okay. Grady Holt. Grat Holt. Grady Holt. Grat E, then O, and then the T at the end. Man, man, you teaching me about graph. It is not last T. It's not pronounced. Okay. You know what, Omega man? When I get you on the phone, man, I got to hear you phonetically say the word one time, and I'll get it. You know, French was definitely not. I just picked up a little French, but I never went to actual school for the French. But I love French. I love the language though too. I'm gonna when we get on the phone, man. I'm gonna hear you say it. Don't make a deal. I know I get it right because all I'm doing is butchering, and I hate butchering beautiful words, man. I hate butchering the language. The French. Don't be mad at me if some of you guys are French. I ain't trying to butcher nothing. Certain words I can say, but if I hear Omega say it once, and I'm good. But other than that, though, so as I was saying before, though, the faces of fascism, right? This is exactly what it is, though, man. And you guys are looking at it, you're seeing it for what it really is. And it's just amazing to me that I don't see enough content creators talking about this type of stuff. We ain't got to wait for breaking news. We're talking about what's going on right now. Right now, right now. How they say it over there in California? That's how they say it now, you know? Yeah, but yeah, it's really what it is, man. I mean, these are the people, ladies and gentlemen, that were responsible. They were ripping off our taxpayer money, right? And I can't wait till we see accountability on that because these people should be sitting in. If we didn't have so much of a corrupt people in our lower level judges in the courts, they would have been already sitting behind bars for what they did. You don't steal from people and then be out on the street like it ain't no thing, because we already know that we don't have enough people. I'm talking about good people that's going to abide by the law, not Trump's law, but the law, right? The ones that are going to be doing the right thing. Many of our parents taught us it's not good to steal. Stealing from other people is never a good thing. And their parents have taught them not to steal. Have they listened to them? No. Oh yeah. Yeah, I see some French in there. Um, oh yeah, I see that right there. Jimmy. Oh yeah, hold on for a minute. Let me see it. Kirk. Oh man, God, I can't read French, Francais. I can say certain words when I see it. Come on, Omega, man, you're making me look bad, man. Let me see here. What we have here? We have Raymond. Raymond Walsh. Says, how do you feel about Trump sending $2 billion to Venezuela when government workers are here? Well, let me tell you this: the money that Trump is sending, right? This is coming out of what? Out of some of the tariff money. Let me explain a little bit about Venezuela, right? Maybe that you don't know. Venezuela was broke away from BRICS, right? We know everybody know who that is, right? Right? They broke away from their economy. Venezuela was on the brink of going bankrupt. They were in serious trouble because of the president over there and Trump is good friends. Trump looked at this as an opportunity. It's called an exchange. He just didn't give these guys the money. Now, whether you believe it or not, um, I know you do though, Megan. I know you do. But yeah, so where the money this is called as an exchange. Because what we're gonna be getting back, we're gonna be getting some things back from Venezuela. One of them is gonna be our beef industry. Hmm. You know what I'm saying? False. Venezuela, no money to Venezuela. But here it is, they broke away from BRICS. And what Trump is basically doing as Venezuela. You talking about? I'm sorry, not Venezuela. God damn it! I meant to say Argentina. Thanks, Omega. Not Venezuela. Fuck Venezuela. Hell no. Moderno and yeah, in the drug thing and fentanyl. Hell no. I don't know why I said that. I know why. I know why because I was reading your thing. It's all good. Raymond, it's all good, man. Yeah, Argentina, right? Argentina was on the brinks of their economy was about to collapse, man. You know what I mean? So Trump did an exchange also to help the economy out because Venezuelan president and Trump is very good friends. So as I was saying, one of the exchanges agreements was because Argentina has some of the best cattle over there. You know what I'm saying? So with this exchange, one of these deals are going to be cattle that's going to be shipped here into America because our farmers, we don't have enough farmers right now because of these people that you see up on the photo here, that I put up on the thumbnail. They are responsible for destroying the American farmers. These bastards that you see right here that I'm showing right now, these are your bastards once again. So now that they got that deal going on, right? So they're gonna be sending money back because they broke away from BRICS, right? I'm talking about Argentina, right? This is exactly what ended up happening. Omega says Argentina was never part of BRICS, but they was invited. Okay, so rejected it in January 2024. But what was the money exchange then? If they weren't a part of BRICS, though, Omega, what was the money? Well, they were part. What was the deep state's money? We talking about the fiat currency, right? Because whatever the currency they was using, it would still have to be the fiat currency and things. Because I mean, to what I read, Argentina pulled away from that because with any other nation, the more you borrow from the deep state, the more in debt you become, right? Am I right? No money exchange was for the prisoner transfer. Okay. No money exchange. was for the prisoner transfer. No, I was talking about the beef and everything, right? Because they do have some resources over there that they were basically trying to, let's say, be a part, far as the, talking about the cattle and everything like that. Because this was really, it was supposed to be an exchange. It was something that we are going to be getting back in return. And some of it was because of the beef and some other things too. Because our American farmers are nowhere near up to par to be able to feed America, though. I mean, the beef or whatever the still is shipped in, like from Mexico and other places, Argentinians can't keep their cattle right now. Cattle prices are only the thing keeping our dairy and beef farmers alive. But yeah, so Argentina can't keep their cattle, right? And we are getting some of the cattle. The agreement was, according, they're going to be shipping some of that meat over back over here to America. You know what I mean? But the thing about it is, let's see here. I want to make sure I didn't miss anything. KB, the American just reached 38 trillion, yeah, dollars in debt. Let's see, KB, and we know what the 36 trillion dollars in debt. It was coming from, once again, the fiat currency, the central bank. That is a known fact, right? Because look at it. Every time, because of the people you see here and people before there were responsible. They kept on doing is borrowing money from the Federal Reserve Bank. The Federal Reserve is not a part of, it's not American at all. This is why we have the 36 or 38 trillion dollars in debt right now. And they want to keep it that way too, right? This is why we in trouble right now. Raymond Walsh says we have farmers with soy, corn, and wheat. They can't sell their crops to other countries. But the thing with Trump, and things like that, he's going to help. He's going to help Argentina out. And now that with that beef thing, as I mentioned, that is a thing. You know what I'm saying? And which is going to help them out as well. And plus, we're going to be getting better quality of meats coming from Argentina. You know what I'm saying? Um, Omega says 28 trillion of the debt was between Bush, Obama, and Biden. You know, I don't know if Bush face is even on my thumbnail though, but he should be up there. He may be up there. Raymond says no. Raymond says need the rest. Okay, read the rest of the message. Let's see here. Hold on for a minute, Raymond. I ain't read the rest of the message, man. Hold on. We are the farmers of the corn, okay, for soy, corn, and wheat that they can't sell their crop to other countries, right? That they rely on for years. I need my glasses, sorry, because of the tariffs. Yeah, because of the tariffs, right? But at the same time, if Trump sent them 20, if he sent them 20, was it 20 billion over there to help out Argentina for them to basically get themselves together? Because the economy over there was on the brink of collapsing. We do know that, right? Now, there is a tariff. I don't know how much the tariff is right now. I should have looked and investigated on that. I'm not for sure how much the tariffs are, and things like that, but I'm not for sure exactly. Let's see here. Trump added to it. Read the rest of the message, dude. Yeah, I just read it. I just read it, dude. I just read it. What you mean? I just read it. Trump added to it. Listen, like I said before, man, we're not gonna get too far off topic with this type of stuff, right? We know what the culprit really is, right? So here's the thing about it. I'll let Omega deal with that stuff. Here, my thing is simply this, though, man. Like I said before, you see the faces of the people. Some of them that's not even showing up. There's actually more, but these are the major culprits. If you're in Argentina or wherever, Just look at the faces, look at the people who's responsible, right? They're all responsible because they never bucked against the system. They were part of the system. They're still being paid off. This is the face of fascism right here on this thumbnail clip. And we're not gonna go past it. I'm gonna stay on this because this is until justice is served. You know justice has to be served because how they get you when you talk about these other issues. The major issue is what's been happening to America. And we know if America falls, so there's Argentina, all the rest of them go right along with it. It's going to keep it 100. These other countries are not really self-sustaining. They're up under the same system, right? The system that we're trying to break away from. And it ain't going to help it no better. We over here talking about other issues when we should be talking about the key conspirators and the provocateurs that's behind everything. That's how my mind works. You know what I'm saying? You know, simple. When corporations and as well as politicians are in bed with each other, they write the rules. What you think about these politicians? Do they work on the will of the people? No. They work on the will of corporations, right? This is exactly what it is. Who you think are the lobbyists? Who you think is writing all policies and rules? Who control foreign policy? Who control American policies, right? It's them. The international banksters and all the rest of them. That's where your fascists are. And some of these people I showed there are their puppets. Straight like that. We ain't got to go into a great detail about what definition of fascism because that's too far over people's heads. This channel is not designed for that. I speak the language of the people. You got to keep in mind, we got a lot of common folk in here, me included, right? You have to be able to use wording and things, right? To be able for people to be able to understand. Going to all that, I got to pull up the dictionary and then paste it. People's minds are not wired like that, right? You got to give people simple stuff, right? This is why people love shorts so much. Shorts, other than live streams, this is how people, this is what the attention span they have. They ain't got time for all that stuff, man. But and I learned the shortcut through communication is good marketing. You have to shortcut this stuff and you have to keep this stuff, this ish simple because you got a lot of, I mean, people wasn't even talking about oligarchy. It wasn't you. I don't even like using terms like that because once again, it's word salad to me. And most of them that saying it don't even know understand what it is anyway. We don't need word salad. Let's just cut to the chase and say what it really is. In other words, there's people that's controlling the will of the people, keep people from having their own personal lives. Their lives are being affected. It's coming down from a central system, right? Like a king or a dictator. That's all it really is. That's what it is, right? And these people wanted to be our kings and dictators. Talking about no kings. I'm just saying, this is exactly what it is. How can you discuss fascism when you can't even explain? Here we go. Here we go. And see, this is another big head fucker right here, as I just said. You know what I'm saying? For just for that though, you know what I'm saying? Now listen here, you big head fucker. Everybody don't give a damn about your definition of fascism. Motherfucker, you. You know what I'm saying? Just piss me off with that. What did I just say, motherfucker? You heard what I said. You get your own show and you tell the definition of fascism is. When average folks ain't even hardwired like that. Trying to play high post like you supposed to be a big educated motherfucker. Motherfucker, I beat your ass on a debate anytime, any day. Right? Motherfucker, you. Now say something else smart again. And I kick you out of this room myself. Motherfucker. You get me all riled up now. Shit. Mother, play that. I'm from Detroit. Let me get back on my thing here or whatever like that. You're going to either get with the program, as I said before, or get the fuck on out. That's what it is. I don't pretend to be the dictionary. I don't have to be because I speak the language of the people. And people understand what it is. That's all you need to know. Fuck the Webster Dictionary. Fuck Oxford. And fuck any of the rest of them, though. You know, my mind ain't hardwired on that. I speak the language of the real people. Get in here and want to be a big egghead motherfucker thinking you getting me told. You get the fuck out. That's what you do. I've been running this channel for quite some time. I know what I'm doing. I speak the language of the people. People ain't hardwired like that. How you gonna sit up? They're not hardwired like that. They are not. And then that's the thing about though. You were an embarrassment. Man, I wish, you know what? If I wasn't at my home studio right now, I would invite you up. I would invite you up and throw the link down and put your ass up to see if you are anything about that talk and see. I want to see if you really about that life and for real. And just go ahead and put you up on the link to have you to come up. I really would, you know, because it's pretty obvious that you rock with these criminals, DS, bitch made motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Bitch made motherfucker. What is you, black, white, or other? Which one are you anyway? Because I'm really tired of these old big head motherfuckers, man. You gonna respect me one way or the other. That I do know. You gonna respect me or get the fuck out. How about that? I'm not taking no prisoners today at all. And I got time. Okay, let me go ahead and do this. Get with this motherfucker on out of here. I do this myself. There we go. His ass is out of there. I ain't got time for that shit today. Yeah, you ain't got to put it up in there, Omega. I was gonna say you ain't got to put. I'm gonna tell you this, Omega, and I said this on my other channels. If you notice with me, I don't give them what they want. No, I don't give them what they want. We are not playing that. What is the this and that? Because he's trying to get you on an aha moment. I know what he's trying to do. I know what he's trying to do. You know what I'm saying? I know what he's trying to do. I know what he's trying to do. I know what he's trying to do. Right? I know what he's trying to do. Yeah, I made a mistake. Hit the wrong button because I'm over here in the sun. I can't see. But yeah, I know what he's trying to do. I know what this guy is trying to do, man. You know what I'm saying? I know exactly what he's trying to do. Right? That's what he's trying to do. And I go ahead and time him out for 24 hours, and then or whatever like that as well. And that's what they do. They come in this room being disingenuous, throw you off your square, right? You know, and like I said, I like to do the you know what I'm saying, but I'm not gonna give them what they want. He knows what fascism is, but they see what they try to do is they want to try to make me look small, like I don't know what I'm talking about because I don't know. I don't play in Democrats, liberal. I don't play their games, Omega. I don't. You do. I don't. I don't do that because they're not worth answering. We talk about the topics here. I'm not gonna play that cat. I'm not gonna play that game with them. And that's for anybody else that want to ask questions or whatever. You come in here in my chat being disingenuous. You never asked a question for understanding. I did a whole short on this. This is the game they play, right? Because he cannot defend what I said earlier about the people that I put up here right now, the ones that have been ripping off America. This ain't about. We're not talking about. We're talking about face of fascism, where your rights and your livelihood is being affected, coming from a central government that want control over everything. I know exactly what these clowns trying to do because I have the leverage in this room. They don't. I got the leverage. You know what I'm saying? I hold the leverage here. They don't. They come in here being disingenuous. I don't play in their game. The questions is we're not going to be playing this questions and answer game. I don't do the debates no more. All I do is tell it like it is. You can take it or leave it. Go find someone else. He knows what fascism is, just like I do. We're not going to go into how is the definition when the definition is right here in front of your face. This is the people I put up on a thumbnail print. I've been saying this for almost what? Damn near over an hour already. Running down in great detail what these people have been doing. You know, I mean, shit, you would have figured alone if somebody had been stealing money from taxpayers. Isn't that a form of fascism right there? I mean, they tried and they know this stuff, right? But again, I'm not here to entertain these people. I'm not going to entertain them, and I ain't got to answer their questions because at this point, when you come into this room, there ain't gonna be no. I'm gonna be the one asking questions. We're not playing your answer. I got your moment questions no more. He get off thinking, oh, I got him. I got him. He's ignorant. I got him. You know, if that was true, I mean, what? I mean, look at it. People come in here to hear what I got to say. They don't come in here to hear what he got to say. You know what I'm saying? BS is a right name for him. That's a good name for him because he's coming in here with a bunch of bullshit. And when I'm talking about topics like this of importance, this is all you need to be dealing with. And no, you know, I got to come with more information on top of what I'm already talking about. That's disingenuous, man. Let alone try to be funny and trying to be disruptive. He ain't even about that life anyway. They all them come in here trying to do the same old shit, same old tactics. And it's not working. It doesn't work. Still gonna talk about this topic. Look at the people that have been ripping us off, ladies and gentlemen. Look at the people that have been signing off on these wars. Look at the people. Look at these people setting up coups, right? And trying to oust a sitting president. These people right here, they're all responsible. As far as I'm concerned, they all are responsible. Even with this ICE shit, right? They're responsible. They are the ones responsible. This is why the Democratic Party is about to be lights out because they're on life support right now, ladies and gentlemen. This is a party that's a joke. We ain't got to answer questions to them. We done already won. The goal is they can't even get past the primaries. They're not going to be able to win. You think that the Democrats got a chance to win the primaries? Hell no. They can't even get past, as I keep saying, they can't get past on the when we talk about the Medicaid, Medicare alone, let alone immigration and crime, right? They can't even get past this type of stuff. They're so far underwater, ladies and gentlemen. It's it's beyond even talking about at this point. What are they gonna do? Their cheating apparatus has been destroyed. Trump is even cleaning up with the Patriots the voter rolls. So how are they gonna win anything? This is why they're screaming, hollering, and yelling now, trying to attack ICE. You guys realize that they're trying to spark an insurgency? They already are doing it. These are the faces of the insurgency as well. And I'm not taking nothing back because there's nothing to take back. These are actual facts. This is exactly what's going on. Exactly. This is what we're dealing with, ladies and gentlemen. We are dealing with this nonsense right here. And then he want to come over here and want a definition when he know damn well. See, that's what they do, ladies and gentlemen. These are the tactics of the left, of the liberals. Ask a question until they get a I got you moment. Right? And that's why I said, Omega, I don't deal with these. Just like I had to get this other guy in check. Don't think I've been knowing what's going on, right? I may not be the most intelligent person in this room, I tell you that. But got to be something. Got to show something that I know what the hell I'm doing for me to even start a stream or start or whatever and be able to put shorts up and talk about facts and stuff that I know about. I may not know everything. You know what I'm saying? But like it is. And if I'm wrong on certain issues, that's cool too. I'm big enough to accept that. I'm not, but I said, well, wait a moment. What the hell are we talking? And I was waiting on somebody with this fascism shit. I was waiting on them for this. Because I done grown tired and sick and tired of you got the people that come in this room disingenuous from the start. He didn't like what I was saying. And that was his little dig to throw out, you know? Knowing damn well if we was face to face with each other, it wouldn't even go down like that. But they act big and bad on the internet. This is exactly what it is. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I hear what you're saying, Omega, though. But this is what I'm saying is that these are tactics, childish tactics. It's just as bad as insulting somebody because that's what they do. They don't know how. It ain't like they don't know how. They've been taught from a lot of the people at the top, wherever they're getting their instructions from, they all sound like what's it? You ever watch Star Trek where you had the board where they work in the collective? That's what they are. They're in this collective hive mind. The hive mind at the top tell them what to think, what to say, and is no originality of their own. You know how many times I done heard, well, what is fascism? You know, after them back their ass up with their politicians. Well, what do you mean about fascism? You know, like I haven't heard that stuff before, man. You come in here being disingenuous, right? Like I said before, it's the same thing with the Nazi stuff. Being called a Nazi, being called a racist, supporting the racist, all the rest of this stuff, right? When the when the real Nazi and the real people are the people that I'm showing up right here, right now. The people that you're looking at on that thumbnail print. They are really really responsible. These are elected officials, people that used to be in the White House as a president on the way down. And look how disgracefully that they have behaved, right? Look at what the policies and stuff that have hurt Americans, average Americans. Nobody got time for all this other bullshit and all this other type of stuff like that. Man. Nobody got time for that. Nobody got time for oligarchy. Nobody got time for that nonsense. You got to make stuff simple for people that they can understand. The point is still the same. The point is still the same when it comes down to fascism, right? I speak the language of the people because most of the average people can relate to that. That's exactly what it is. Screw the dictionary, man, in regards to some things like that. You know, I love how Omega. I love how Jesse Lee Peterson used to always say, because one thing about it is, you don't. This ain't about being book smart, man. But you got to be able to speak the language and be able to understand and be able to interpret what's really going on, man. So people could be able to get it. I never pretend that I was an English scholar. I don't even pronounce certain words right, obviously, but I keep on going. You know, I'm not embarrassed by this type of stuff. What's most important is you see my title, I'm just some random guy. I'm just some random guy. But it's enough to upset these people that come in here because you know what they always say, when you don't have no haters, you ain't doing your job. When I got quite a few haters, so I must be doing my job there. And I'm gonna have many more haters even come in this room. Not that they're not allowed to come in here, but I know the tactics that a lot of them what they've been doing, you know. And you got other content creators buying into it. I don't. Because we won, they lost. We in a position of power. We in a position of leverage. We have so much leverage on our part, and we know that this shutdown thing may end up ending because a lot of the DMs can't hold out this long like this. When they pulled that ish, who were they hurting? They were hurting a lot of their own people. They were the ones that started the Schumer shutdown. They are the ones that started, right? They act like that they had the leverage. They don't have the leverage Trump does. We'll see how long if it goes to 61 days. He win either way. They lose. They've been losing on every when it comes down to these injunctions and stuff. It ain't like the Democrats been winning. They've been losing. They've been losing on everything. Trump been kicking their ass left and right. Let's keep it real. Right? His legacy will go down for destroying the Democratic Party. Talking about Trump once again. Trump is the one. So here it is. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. And we don't have anybody other than I would say outside of Trump. It's probably some good people out there, but we know there's a lot of bad apples, man. And you see the faces of a lot of them. I love the fact that every day Obama, he was looking worried on that podcast. Who was that? Steven Crowder. He was on that podcast. Look at him. Worried, looking more thinner and frail looking. Talking about Obama, the arch deceiver, the great, the fallen Messiah and the great deceiver. Talking about Obama, right? This is the one they thought that Obama, like he was gonna deliver us all and everything. No, he didn't. He delivered us all right. More and more information coming out about him alone. All roads lead to Obama. He is responsible, along with his following, minions. They were all part of the same thing, man. And I can't wait until we see justice to see Obama behind bars in prison, just like that AI generated thing that Trump generated. And I love the Trump fighter thing as well too, with him as being F-15, whatever, F-20, flying over no kings, dumping a whole bunch of manure. Because if I was able to do it, I would have done the same thing, man. I sure would have. This is how much of their so-called protest, it was all manufactured anyway. Wasn't a real protest. They just paid some old people to go out there and march up and down the street. And y'all saw me cover that about over a week ago. Look how pathetic they are. Look how pathetic they look. They support this fascist ass system, right? That Trump has been getting rid of. He's been taking and beating the brakes off their asses, man. And I love it. All these, he's been winning all these injunctions for the most part of it. And then not only that, what else has that Trump been doing other than getting the border together and getting these illegals out of here and everything like that? He's been really taking it to the deep state, big time. Yeah, Ganifa, Uh, Joe Mama is back. Joe, yeah, Joe Mama. Omega, we got Joe Mama back. Boy, I was waiting on. All I'm waiting on is Sherry, man. It don't. Yeah, boy, it didn't feel right without you and Omega for the longest time, man. Your boy been over here harrowing these fuckers that come in my room. You know, Grand Tifa. Yeah, Grand Tifa. Yeah, and Trans Tifa too. Don't leave them out. Trans Tifa, Grand Tifa. You know, yes, I like that too. Yeah, that's who these people back and support. You got governors, you got mayors that back Antifa as well too. Here's your coup right here. Here's your insurrection groups right here, right? This guy want to be one of these old big heads and try to make me look small about fascism and all this other stuff when we over here living it. We over here seeing it right now. You know? They still want us to pay taxes so they can still rip off our money. They've been taking our taxpayer. I'm over here, you over here paying taxes. We all paying taxes. We thinking the taxpayer, and it explains why our infrastructures, man, it looks like somewhere out of a third world. I'm embarrassed when people first time coming here to America, they come here in Detroit and look, we have some of the worst infrastructures in the world. It's sad. And I tell them flat out, this because of the greedy ass politicians that purposely stole the money. It's corruption. And the people on this clip, on this thumbnail, are responsible for that too. I blame it all on them. No matter if you hadn't had your hand personally in it, you back them, you support them. You still talking the same idiocracy that's going on right now, just like that damn movie. This is what you got: a bunch of idiots in the White House, a bunch of morons, and a bunch of I should say, sociopaths. They don't care nothing about people, ladies and gentlemen. These are sociopaths. Look at them. Look how crazy some of them look in the eyes. Karen Bass look like a crazy. Look how crazy she look in the eyes. She's a communist. We know that. Because I'm not even gonna use socialist no more. Let's just call it for what it really is. This is communism. We're gonna put fascism and communism. Make it even shortcut than that. So the next one person want to get a big head, they want to check me about the correct proper uh, meaning of fascism. How about this? Socialism. Fascism is socialism. That's what they got. That's what you got, right? Let's go and make it even closer than that. That's exactly what it is. Fascism and communism. And these are commies up here on my on the thumbnail. They all support communism. These are commies, ladies and gentlemen. And if you don't know what a communist is, then you can just go ahead and type in Karl Marx on the Google like he could have did if you want the dictionary. Don't test my intelligence on what it is when you can go to Google or you can go to any AI generated, programmer to tell you exactly in great depth of what communism is. You don't think I have a copy of the Communist Manifesto? I copied it and looked at it and things. As a matter of fact, I think what I'm going to do one day, Omega, and I'm going to go over the Communist Manifesto. Therefore, people that don't know, this is the playbook coming from the left. This is what they all been taught. Communist Manifesto and Rules for Radicals. This is the trash that they read from, and it's all off the backs of Karl Marx. Straight up. That's what we're dealing with here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's not let's not window dress it and all. Well, yeah, it's socialist. Mondani's socialist. No, he's a communist. I'm stop using the word socialist. They're all communists. AOC is a communist. Bernie Sanders is a communist. Right? We go right down the list on them. They support communism. This is why we in the situation that we in right now. And the people that's rolling with these people are commies as well. They think communism is better than capitalism. It's mighty funny that they've been practicing capitalism. They back it up because they get money. Oh, capitalism. They ain't doing the shit for free. They're hypocrites once again. I think capitalism is fine. Most of us are capitalists in this country. Where you could come up with an idea, make some money, and sell a product. What's so bad about that? You know? Not every billionaire and millionaire is an evil monster, though. You know what I'm saying? What's wrong with making some money? Like these hypocrites, like they out here doing the stuff for free. It's so bad from the left, ladies and gentlemen, that they got to go in and steal money, right? And that's what they did, stole money from the American taxpayer. That's exactly what they did. This is why we're in the situation now. But yeah, I'm gonna get ready to head on off, guys. I'm at my place right now. I gotta get some work service on the car and stuff like that. But man, I appreciate you showing up, man. Damn, Joe Mama in the house, man. Yep, Joe Mama, not Joe Mama, but Joe Mama. Yeah, Omega says that is not capitalism. Capitalism is communist term. I'm a market economist. Our system is a market economist. Well, there it is, though. I know Omega have more of a deep in depth on the phonetics of these words and where they're coming from. But I've heard capitalism all my life, as far as, people. But I understand this, even though they try to pretend that we have a free market, it wasn't free. It was an illusion of being a free market because what tops fascism, we could just say totalitarian system. And that's what each and every one of these people that I put up on this thumbnail, that's what they represent as well, a totalitarian system. That's exactly what it is. But let's just make it clear before I go. Once again, I never pretend to be somebody that I'm not. I'm just a regular average person, obviously, right? That have enough passion to fight and be the resistance of this communist fascist system that they tried to create, which is control, central control, telling people what they can and can't say, telling people what they can and can't do, people that are against gun rights and gun laws, as I said, and many other things. Because if you don't stand for something, you fall for anything. And the last that I checked, it is every American's responsibility to stand up against tyranny, especially when it's threatening our Constitution and America. It doesn't require to have a high IQ to do this. Any of you could start your own channel and do the same old thing. You know what I'm saying? You really can. Nobody is stopping you. So yeah, so I wanted to point that out. And I'm gonna be putting more disclaimers about stuff like that. Why you think I put some random guy? I'm just some random guy. I'm just a random dude. I'm not in politics. Shit. I'm not even being monetized on this channel. I get money for this stuff. I'm not, I mean, I just doing it out of passion, man. You know? I mean, for those that are getting monetized, I mean, monetized. I mean, it's all good. So I make a mistake there, even on the words, you know? But don't cut me down and think because I don't know some of the words or whatever like that, that I'm some, you know what I'm saying? Don't put the brother down. I think I've been doing pretty damn good. You know what I'm saying? I don't even have a college degree. I've said that before too, you know? But I am world educated and street educated as well too, regards to some things like that. Because I grew up in the hood and I know hood politics. So there's some advantages that I have that average people don't. I went to a public school, right? Before I go, for those that don't know. And the Detroit educational system was one of the worst systems here in Detroit, where you heard gunshots, stuff being stolen and taken away from you, and other things too. We talking about being jumped on stuff, especially after school. There was multiple fights. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It was lawlessness going on. If it wasn't in the school, inside of the classrooms, it was outside. And gunplay as well too. We done heard stories of people that would do drive-bys, and you hear pop, 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 pop. And some of you never been in those environments before. And be thankful that you haven't been in any of those environments. You know? I have been raised in those environments like that, right? These are the things that these were the current ongoing occurrences that were going on. And no Democrat that I know, black or white, have never corrected these issues in the inner cities of America. That's a fact. They never did. They watched us kill one another, steal one another from one another, right? And those are just the two. There was women that was being vamped on. Can't say the word, but you know what I'm talking about. This whole daylight saving thing is because of the kids and these young girls that have to catch the bus to school. Not everybody was privileged to get on the yellow bus. Some of them had to take a city bus. And you know how dangerous it is for anybody, especially a young girl, out there on the bus line, got to go either to school or to work, and being preyed upon and being vamped on. Not one of these Democratic politicians, they never thought to make the work or make the city safe. It had to take a person that they hated to send in National Guards. Look at Memphis right now. Look at Washington, D.C. right now. And a lot of these other 19 or Twin cities are going to follow suit. They're going to be getting the same experience of being in a safe neighborhood without having to worry about being vamped on, broken into, drive-bys, and all this other stuff. I ask you for all the decency, some of you liberal Democrats, where was your decency and where was your caring about the inner cities? You talk about Palestine, but like I said, this is where I always get them on. Where was your love and decency for the inner cities of America? Where, as far as I'm concerned, your liberal policies failed America, when you failed the black community. That's all I got to say. Yeah, so Omega says, let me read the other thing too. Hold on, man. I don't want to miss nothing. Hold on for a minute. Yeah. Uh, okay, I read that one. Okay. Capitalism is the communist straw man argument against the market economy. Okay. Capitalism is whatever a communist says it is. Okay. But there is so much things as the capitalist economic system. Okay. Yeah, I can yeah, because so let me ask you that. I think I may know, but communism, what was it? Imperialism before communism, because we was under the times with what rulers, monarchies, things like that, until we see what happened there. So they had to come up with another clever way. That's why we don't really have a lot of monarchs today as well too. But if I'm correct, I think it was imperialism before capitalism. And then there was capitalism, and then there was communism, which I do agree with you. They all have share some type of it's like almost like a mirror image on some things, I would probably say, Omega. And we need to talk about capitalism, communism, which is birthed out of that. We just know to have we just know that America made it work before the central bank, before they have taken it over. In fact, Andrew Jackson had to deal with it in his time as well too. And things getting rid of its central bank. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we're gonna elaborate on that a lot further. But yeah, I gotta get going, ladies and gentlemen. Man, I appreciate y'all coming in, man. Welcome to Some Random Guy Speaks and things like that. Yeah, you guys have always been welcome to come in here, even the trolls. You know what I'm saying? Even the trolls, you know. Omega says, I can explain it all once I get on the show. Yeah, that's gonna be our thing, Omega. This is in Omega's wheelhouse, obviously, right? And I'd rather have somebody else that know how to explain it and things. And I will even explain the what's it oh my gosh, Omega. Got it. That's another one. See, I'm just an average dude, man. I'm not no damn scholar. And that's what people love about me, man, because I'm honest. Fascism and communism, the doctrine autonomy, yeah. Of fascism and communism. Think I pronounced that right. You know what I'm saying? Mhm. Yeah. Shit, I'm not even a nutty professor. I may look like him, but, when it come down to shit, Nutty Professor was a professor. He went to school. He has a master's degree to be a professor. I don't have any of those titles. You don't hear me coming on here calling myself Professor some random guy, you know what I'm saying? That's a joke, the doctor, the professor. I don't even have a college degree, man. I'm just an average dude. You know what I'm saying? For real, for real. I got family members that have a college degree, but no, I don't have any of that stuff, man. You know, education is very important. I'm not sitting up here repping education is very important, and everybody should take advantage of it. Which I'm even going back to school myself. To better my life and change and turn my life around. You know what I'm saying? For real, for real. And I'm not even joking about it. I'm serious. When it comes down to education have always scored higher with me. Yeah. So I can better pronounce some of these words. I got to start all over again. I'm gonna get my education, and once I get my education, then I'm gonna be good. I know it's education, but I'm just, poking a little fun. I can still have fun too. Shit, how Jesse Lee said, at least Jesse Lee telling the truth too. I'm black and I'm slow. You know what I'm saying? I'm not that slow, but I may be slow on some stuff too. Because this is the American government education that I was victim to, right? I'm so happy to see that Trump took the powers away from the Department of the Government Educate, the Department of Education. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad he took that power away. This is their product, and I'm one of them, right? Because if they really gave a damn about our education and seeing fit that we prosper and thrive in our communities just like the suburbs, you got it's a obvious haves and have-nots. If you was here in Detroit and over there on the make it know what I'm talking about, 75, 8 Mile area, you go around in that area going back to 7 Mile, 8 Mile. The other side is Warren or Ferndale, depending on which one it is, right? You can see almost a night and day difference in some of these cities outside in the suburbs. And some of them are drastic looking. You know what I'm saying? We had a lot of riots in these cities that was created with some of these people too. Some of them have been around long enough. Bernie Sanders been around long enough. The commie. Bernie the commie. Yeah, there we go. That's more fitting. It's always been a communist. There ain't nothing undercover about this dude. AOC is a communist. As I said before, these are commies. And we're gonna go back to because back in the days, that's the terms they were using. Commies. That's what they are. Karen Bass is a communist. Look at her. Looking toe up from the flow up. Make me want to throw up. She ain't by herself, coming out there looking pitiful. You know? Y'all see, before I go, y'all see Korean John Pierre change her look, you know, change her look up. She's been on The View. Korean John Pierre. Boy, Caroline Levitt have it all over this woman. DEI hire woman. Mm, mm, mm. Yeah, man. But yeah, Omega, we're gonna do that, man. We're gonna go ahead and when I believe it's gonna be coming up this Saturday, Omega. I'm gonna look for you. Oh no, not this Saturday, because I'm gonna be out there in Lansing, East Lansing, getting it. That's right. But I'm gonna try to make it beforehand. I'm gonna try to push for tomorrow, maybe. Yeah, you have to be tomorrow. But yeah, therefore, man, that way I'm gonna have you. I'm gonna give the floor to Omega. He's gonna break this fascism down and everything like that, and go from there. That'd be a beautiful thing, though, Omega. You can bring to talk about that, communism, capitalism. He's gonna give you the history. He's gonna give you the history behind all this, where it came from. We all know it came from Europe, because we can go way back in where it was called Prussia before Russia. That I do know. And he can go into that, right? We can go through all that. I would have to be after 7 p.m. tomorrow. Okay. All right. That sounds good. I'm gonna try my best. Do a tentative appointment. Try my best to meet it. But I'm gonna make sure that that for y'all be able to hear Omega's voice. And I appreciate the light too. Thank you. And y'all be able to hear Omega voice, and he'll be able to talk about it. And Omega, I want you to be able to break it down to the people that I posted up here as well too, and things, because not only the history of it and how it equates, may not have to be these people per se, but how it equates with America, right? From Europe to America on that, as far as the history. I think that'd be great because it's definitely in Omega's wheelhouse, more so than mine. And I'm not afraid to admit it. It's all good, right? There's no shame here at all. Other than that, though, guys, I appreciate it. Thank you for the other light too. I appreciate it, guys. You guys have been great. I know who my MAGA, I know who my liberals even that support me. You know what I'm saying? Because I got liberals in here that support me. I got conservatives that support me, things like that. So which is cool, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm speaking straight from the heart. No script, no Hollywood. I'm just a regular, random guy. That's all I am, man. This is basically what it is that I like doing. I'm not even monetized, and that's okay. I got a job. That's all right. If it happens, it happens. You know, maybe I can use some of that money, Omega, to upgrade on some better sound equipment. Right? That's for sure, though. I'm not sounding like $1 million, but that's all right. You know what I'm saying? That's okay. Yeah, Megan says crazy libertarian with enough guns to start at uh what's that junta. What junta? You might have to help me out with that word there, Mega. Maybe I'm missing that, you know? 'Cause, I'm not as when it come down to words and the phonetics of it all though. But I do my best. I try though. I try. Yep, with the guns, I'm all on board with that. Yep. We got some old school libertarians out there. Shout out to the old school libertarians. Shout out to the Tea Party. With my Green Party to the Tea Party. Yeah, pronounce junta. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, the J's in Spanish are pronounced, yeah, junta. Okay, junta. Okay, yeah, that's right though. My little bit of Spanish when I went to school for it. Yeah. Yeah, Omega speaks 5 different languages, you guys, so that's another thing though. Very, very smart guy. I got people from all walks of life, coming in here though to be able to hear some real stuff coming from a regular average person. I ain't Hollywood. I don't sit behind a desk. I don't have a producer, obviously. You know what I'm saying? I mean, some of you guys seen me before, no big deal, man, and things, but I don't even sit. Like I said, I'm not Hollywood, obviously. And I shout out for people that have that Hollywood polished look. I think it's great. Jason Whitlock. A lot of these guys come from a background of broadcasters, man. They journalists, man. They have a background in it. Of course, they're gonna be looking polished and good, but you don't need to be polished and good. If you're speaking with sense, and that's all it takes. Say what you have to say and put it up there. Don't worry about what the naysayers got to say. I've been attacked many of times verbally, man. And you know what the old saying goes? Sticks and stones will break your bones, but names will never hurt you, right? Um, American Hero says, can't hang today, but I took forward to your stream. Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you, man. Right? Yeah, man, it's good to see you, American Hero, man. Yeah, I remember that movie called The Great American Hero. Believe it or not, I'm walking on air. I never thought I could feel so free. Flying away on a wing in a prayer. Who could it be? Oh, yep, that was a great man. That was a TV show that used to come on in the early '80s, man. The Great American Hero, man. I forgot the lead guy in there, man, but it was about this alien that visited the planet. It was really a spinoff of the Lantern, Green Lantern, basically. He gave him some instructions in the suit where he's had the ability to fly and everything. Everything was all good, but he dropped and lost the manual script on how to do the stuff. So you may see and back then the special effects wasn't really that great, but that was kind of part of why that is instead of spending a lot of money on a budget for special effects. But it was a cute little TV show that used to come on though. You can Google it. It's called The Greatest American Hero. I think that's what it's called. Jim says, I just want to know why coins have ridges. Jim, did you ask me that before? I'm gonna play this game though, man. And the reason that there's ridges on the coins for the second time, I think somebody asked me this before, but the reason that the re- oh yeah, I was about to get there and go in there. I was about to say it though, Omega, but it's all good. Yeah, it's all good. Yeah, I do know that though, because back in the when the time when we are using real gold and silver, what was the commoners doing? Shaving off pieces of the gold and silver. Can't blame them for doing that. So they had to come up with a coinage system to prevent that. But I appreciate you having my back, though, Omega. Thank you. Joe Mama says, Jim, so back in the day, you could tell if the coin had been shaved. Yeah. But see, this is my point. I'm not calling out this guy Jim for say, but this is the type of stuff that they ask questions, and I'm not calling you out, Jim. I'm talking about people that come in here being disingenuous because it's all about I got you moment. Now, had none of us would have known this, what you think? And you do got some people that don't know why there's ridges on the coin. Yeah, I've been knowing that for about what 20 years. Why they put ridges on the coin, right? I didn't always know it, but 20 years ago when I learned about it, I said, "Oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense." I knew there had to be a reason for it, right? But yeah, that's exactly what it is. But other than that, though, ladies and gentlemen, yeah, I appreciate y'all coming to the channel. Y'all kind of missed some of the stuff earlier and things. Omega is going to be on. I'm going to try to make it happen tomorrow around 7 p.m. Let him handle, do his thing or whatever. And some of y'all that may not know where this whole these ideologies come from, you know what I'm saying, as far as these systems of government, right? Because when these people were in charge before I go, and this is why we call it a totalitarian system, they're based off of these principles, but they just kind of put a little salt, pepper, they kind of mixed it up like gumbo because we have a lot of systems in America that they were trying to implement along with the deep state. And these people that I put up are very much part of the deep state. That is a fact. Thank you for the like. I appreciate it. They all are responsible for hurting and stealing and the wars and coups, right? And illegal immigration, Antifa, cartel, children. When y'all say Epstein, look at the people responsible for that too. There is a lot, Hollyweird. There is a lot of things going on, ladies and gentlemen, that are coming to the surface now. It is called the reductio, a non sequencer reductal ad. Man, that's why I gotta have a mega on here, man. I'm just butchering the words, meaning reducing to things that do not follow. It is a uh derailment tactic fallacy. Yeah, you're right about that, Omega man. You're right about that. I'm gonna learn something though, man. So hanging around with Omega. You know what I'm saying? Shoot. This brother here got the high IQ, man. I'm just a regular person, man, out here just trying to make a difference and trying to try to come out here and speak some truth, man. You know what I'm saying? That's all if I'm guilty of anything, let me be guilty of that. That's what I'm guilty of, you know what I'm saying? Have enough passion to take some time out of my day, which I don't mind, to talk about some of the stuff because with these other content creators, I would like for them to start talking more about this stuff. I don't see enough of this being talked about. We always hearing about the other stuff. I even try to cover Antifa another way because it ain't just Antifa. It's these people that you see that are members and behind this whole Antifa thing as well. I never incited no violence, no riots, but they are. They are the ones that's virtual signaling, trying to get other people. Look at what happened with our Charlie Kirk. Talk about turning down the temperature. They've been taught to turn it up. Who's been called a Nazi? Who's been called a fascist? Who's been called an enemy of America and an enemy of democracy? Who's been called all this stuff, right? They went after this man. This man was innocent. I'm talking about Trump. Well, not only that, they broke into Mar-a-Lago home. They went through a lot of things, as well as a woman's unmentionable, which is in her drawer. They did this illegal. This was an illegal search and seizure. The Fourth Amendment was violated. Not only his First Amendment, but his Fourth Amendment. J6ers, same thing. It was the Seventh Amendment for them. because we have a thing called due process, a speedy trial. We have a right to know who our accusers are. And they denied these guys and they broke. And these people, some of the people that was responsible in this photo had a lot to do with the J6ers. Biden was not a sitting president at the time. It was Trump. He was still the sitting president when J6 went down. Biden wasn't even sworn in. What they talking about? They talking about an insurrection. So you mean to tell me the people, the J6ers, they were for Trump? How can they be for Trump and be against Trump at the same time? They wasn't in there tearing up because of Trump over here at all. They were over here carrying MAGA stuff, MAGA cats, Make America Great Again, all this other stuff. Come to find out they had 270 FBI agents that was posers, dressed up, agitators, rioters, crisis actors. All of this is coming from them on the left. And I will not stop. I'm going to keep going on with this fight until justice with these individuals that you see on these photos, because they belong in prison, you know, because of what they have done. And they have created a insurgency, treason, and a lot of other things which have destroyed, they stole the wealth of this country, right? They allowed illegal aliens in this country, and they allowed a lot of illegal chemical substances like from cocaine to fentanyl. And look how many Americans that have died under their watch, right? Let me see here. Omega said J6 was a yeah, it was a cluster fuck. Sure was. Yeah, sure was. That J6 is bullshit, man. It really was. And then you had I'm just saying though, man, what was it, Liv Cheney? This whole thing is bullshit, man. This is bullshit. And that's falling apart. The J6 stuff is falling apart. How the election was taken away from Trump in 2020 is falling apart, right? The Russia collusion thing is falling apart, right? I mean, we started going down on this stuff is falling apart. They do not have the narrative anymore. And I keep saying I'm gonna go, man, but this time I'm gonna have to head on out. But I'm just saying though, ladies and gentlemen, we are seeing it for ourselves. It's unraveling. It's unraveling. Of course, they're gonna try to rally their troops, try to activate these sleeping criminals that's in our country right now. Because as I said before, the people you see up here on the photos here were also responsible for cooking the books, especially when Biden was in office. They've been cooking the books on immigration. We would never probably know the real numbers of how many people that was really in here until they had to get some stuff together. They're starting to come up with the real numbers now. But when I looked, it was showing 8.5 million people. And that was a lie. We know it was way more than that. It wasn't no 8.5 million people, illegals that was in this country. But this is what they do, just like they were cooking the books on the criminal statistics. I keep breaking that up. The same people you see here was responsible from that. This was a leftist policy designed not to curtail, hide from the truth, because they knew it would be a very much of an embarrassment and would not allow them to get reelected. So what do they do? They cook the books and tell lies, right? They tell these lies about the criminal statistics. Anybody and everybody know that black on black crime alone was way past a 50%. You know what I'm saying? It was pretty much close to 100%. We know black on black crime. The number one in these inner cities is Black America. Blacks deleting blacks. Come on now. Black on black crime. And none of the Democrats called them out on their bullshit. They never wanted to fix this type of thing. It was business as usual. And then they want to say, yeah, we gotta get tougher on crime, tougher on crime. The Biden thing, right? When we talk about What's the one with Joe Biden? You know what I'm about to come up with? The crime bill, right? 1994? The crime bill, because at the time, they allowed blacks to think that the Democrats was a friend of the blacks. It was a two-way sword because they were voting them in, and then were all the arrests going to these inner cities, mostly black young men, mass incarceration. They were all benefiting from it financially. They never wanted to fix this issue. You know why? Because they were too busy benefiting from this type of stuff. All the way down to the crime bill, right? This is exactly what was going on. This was Joe Biden's baby. He came up with it. And Joe Biden was a racist then, and I still say he's a racist now. He ain't by himself. You have a lot of them, especially on the left, that are racist. This is the type of stuff that we talk. I'm gonna read right here before I get any further, before I go. Um, yeah, Joe Mama says it's unveiling more. It's unveiling. Yeah, more than most know. Exactly, it really is, Joe Mama. Yeah, Graham has this. I'm gonna call you Graham. They have real jobs, not whining online. They have real jobs, not whining online. Graham says, learn temper. Okay, learn term per kappa. Learn the term per kappa. You know what, Graham? Is this supposed to be your pathetic attempt to defend the Democrats because you're doing it very poorly? You're not doing a great job. I don't deal with per capita. That's what y'all weren't using per capita until you found out about it. You know, fuck per capita. I know that there was a real problem that the Democrats cook, and I'm gonna stay on the Democrats' ass like white on rice from now on. I'm like a pit bull. I'm gonna grab on there and put a lock. I ain't never letting go. I ain't gonna let go. I'm gonna bite and chomp down. See, this is the type of stuff right here. So the per capita is supposed to back me up and say, well, yeah, that's not true. Per capita. The point is, I don't know, Graham, if you even lived in the hood in the inner cities of America. What you just broke out right there, you sound like you could be somebody of color, a melanated person. Because I noticed melanated people weren't even using per capita until a few years at least. This is what make me think that you are suspect to me. So because you say per capita is supposed to back me up, it ain't gonna back me up. I go even more aggressive. And before I go, I think I am gonna get a little bit more aggressive because this is the type of foolishness right here. We know for a fact the current administration under Trump said that they were cooking the crime statistics on the books, not just from the DOJ, but from the FBI as well. I went on these websites, I looked at this per capita stuff that you're talking about, sir, and they were still hiding the truth. They were cooking the books. This is why we never got the real numbers. They did that on illegal immigration, right? What else did they do? They did that on the voter rolls. This is the tricks that the Democrats do and use. So it throws you off and make you sound foolish. So when you try to rebuttal against that, they'll say, well, yeah, per capita, no, this thing. See, it's just a ploy. It's designed to back you up, right? But here I am to say this. You don't have to know anything about per capita and all that because the whole if the statistics are corrupt, wouldn't it mean the per capita is corrupt too? Now that's just logic, right? Common sense. Because if the statistics are corrupt, that will mean the per capita is corrupt. Just like with the job market. Thank you. Right? It's the same tactics and bullshit coming from the left. See? You won't ever get the real statistic from them because they made sure. We're talking about solidifying the future of the Democratic Party. Make the blacks a victim, not tell them the truth. Say it's the white men and other people doing all this murdering and killing, which is absolutely not true. It's not true. I know who's doing all the killing, especially in the inner city, right? So this is the thing about it, though. You don't need to be a statistic guru when we're talking common sense, because Democrats have been in power longer than I know, and they have access to the books, statistics. They rewrite stuff, they change stuff. It's called cooking the books. They did it with Biden, talking about he had all these jobs. Was it 78 million jobs he created? Bullshit. We know that that wasn't true. He happened to be the guru. This guy, what the people, bunch of DEIs and stuff, that they have all these jobs. We lost a lot of jobs. We lost a great economy. When Trump had it, he told them, I'm giving you a solid economy. All you got to do is follow my lead. Take. Trump laid down the foundation up until 2020. What did Biden do? He did the opposite. Purposely basically signed and got rid of every executive order that Trump laid down. And they were borrowing more money from the Federal Reserve than ever before. Remember that $360 million that went over there to Ukraine? Who you think paid for that? It was the American taxpayers. It hit us in the pocket. You don't think that that would have anything or any on the economy as well as the inflation? The money went to Ukraine, over to that bastard Zelensky, right? Which is another deep state puppet. Remember that? We never recouped that money. We never got that money back. We went in more debt and more inflation. Because all they were going to do is pass it on to taxpayers anyway, like they always do. We're still carrying the boat and carrying the bag of a lot of things. 9/11, we still carrying a lot of shit from that. The more of these false flag operations, more money, more funding, right? All these false flag operations they created to get what? Funding. We know the military is one of the biggest, the Pentagon funding. Military industrial complex funding, ladies and gentlemen. This is about money. It ain't coming out of their pockets, it's coming from the taxpayers. We've been funding our own destruction. This is what has been going on, ladies and gentlemen. With Doge, Department of Government Efficiency, right? Expose USAID fund. This was a slush fund for them. It was payday for them. They were going on trips, exotic places, setting up their children. They didn't have to work in these. They just said, hey, get this done for us. We'll make it where your daughter or son it'll be well. They were getting paid over $250,000, higher than that. Not even to show up at work. Who get these opportunities? Only the corrupt, right? This is what's going on, ladies and gentlemen. This is why we are in, was it 36, 39, 37 trillion dollars in debt? Whatever that number is around there, that's why we are in this situation. It was never checked before until recently. This year, it had to take an institution or what we call Doge had to be implemented, right, to stop the corruption that these politicians were doing. Look at the people on my thumbnail. They all were responsible, right? Let's go and tell it for what it really is, right? This is why we are in a situation that we are in now. Let me read over here real quick. Omega says per capita is a term, means per head, meaning the ratio. So it would imply one of every 100 or 1% of. Still didn't help us out though. Still didn't help us out, but I appreciate that though, Omega. Joe Mama says 1 million fake jobs reported by BLS. Exactly. See that fake jobs, and if you put the per capita on there, it doesn't exist. It's like, why even bring it all up? Because it's meaningless. When you got a corrupt system from the beginning. How does, because when you want to quote per capita, you're talking about quoting something that's not statistically real. It's all made up. That's why I went at them of that for this reason. It's a phony system in the beginning. Megan says my favorite one is how some people believe hundreds or thousands or millionaires of YNs being killed with unarmed by cops. Right, the real number is below 25, but below 10%, below 10. Is that for percent or the numbers or those actual numbers? Yeah, but I'm saying though, because again, they get more funding from this type of stuff too. The defund the police now, we know, and all this other kind of stuff, that we're talking about when BLM first was started, you started hearing that more so, right? With that phony, that whole phony organization. Joe Mama says, check out what James O'Keefe found with no bid. Okay, minority companies are doing unbelievable. Okay, hard numbers. Okay, hard numbers, right. I'm gonna have to check that out too. James O'Keefe, you know, because there's so much stuff in regards to this. Um, yeah, we've been disenfranchised. When you go into the inner cities, you don't see a whole lot of black businesses. The most you're gonna see is a boutique shop, barber shop, nail shop, and we don't even own a nail shop no more. Those are Vietnamese people. But the other ones, like I said, boutique car washes. You're gonna see Big Ray's or Big Fellas Car Wash. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna see that stuff with the painted on lettering up there. Don't even have the banner. You know those neon, not neon banners. You know the banners that are LED. You know those are a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? So you'll see stuff like that. You'll see a soul food shop, right? I'm gonna tell you, you go in Detroit, and this is in Detroit ain't no different from Cleveland and the rest of them. This is the type of stuff that you're gonna see that's black business, hairstylists as well. You're gonna see this is the type of stuff right here is what you're gonna see, right? You'll be lucky to find a mechanic shop that's black owned anymore. Because here in Detroit, most of them are Chaldean or Arab that are mechanics, right? Mechanic shops. There's only a few that I know. I know a guy right now on the east side, Wade's. I know Wade from back in the days when we all used to hang out. He has um has a auto shop, mechanic shop over there on east side of Detroit. And the only reason that he has that shop because he won a lot of money back then off some type of lotto. Not he won some money and he was able to come, and that's the only reason why he has the shop. He didn't come up with no family that knew business and all the rest of this stuff. That was money. That was lottery money that he had. And he got this little shop, you know, keeping it real, right? You're gonna see your black car washes, hand car wash, barbershops, boutiques, soul food restaurants. Am I missing anything? Oh yeah. Hair salons. Am I missing anything? What else is black, Omega? That am I missing anything else? I think I got most of that covered, you know? Black jobs. Yeah, Will the cameraman. Yeah, yeah, cameraman. Some bus drivers in Detroit told me housing is so expensive because Californians are buying up homes. Laughing my ass off. Yeah, man, Californians. Yeah, man, there's a lot of people, Californians mostly. You can't blame it. There's a lot of people from California that it was a land grab, man. Talking about a transfer of wealth in this over here in Detroit. I mean, we had some like, Omega, remember Boston Edison District, right? When those houses, those big, beautiful houses, some of them back in, I would say before 2007, you were able to go in there, man, and buy a house over there, $20,000, man. Nice brick home. I'm talking beautiful, right? 20 grand for some of them or less, right? No, those days are gone now, right? I mean, you get some good real estate property in Detroit, right? Over there in the Woodbridge area, where a lot of those hipsters are living at over there right now. These are people that bought those houses over here for a song and a dance. And they don't look like melanated people like me and Omega, but because of the Democrats and their policies, where we got blight in our neighborhoods. Look at what's going on now, all this blight and shit. Yeah, all this stuff, man. Because when we look at it though, when we talk about where whites and others, what's the name for that right now? What's it called? It's called it escapes me right now. We talk about it'll come back to me unless one of you guys know the answer to that. But this is what we've been dealing with, man. Because the locals here never had a chance. Predator lending. You see, what else you see in the hoods of America? Advanced payday loan places, a fucking Foot Locker, right? This is the type of shit here that you see, right? We got these predator lenders, man, where the money is so bad. Yeah, we have redlining. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, the redlining, right? That been in place. We talking about well over 100 years. Redlining in the turn of the century. I remember reading a book called The Color of Law, where it explains systematically what that was about. And it still exists because where you live at will determine to a degree of what you're going to be paying, even on the interest. It was a mechanism designed to protect whites in certain neighborhoods and stuff. So that way their value don't have to go down. If you never notice blacks and others, mainly blacks, when you have a certain degree of blacks that move in a particular neighborhood, whites move out because they know that your property value is going to go down. They keep head count on how many blacks are in the city. They don't want it to reach a certain amount. Instead of educating their blacks, they never did. The Democrats never educated blacks at all. They taught them how to be a victim and blame everything on racism. That's why a lot of old ass blacks are no good right now. They're like grown ass crybabies instead of looking at the shit for what it really is. If these people were so good, and I gotta blame the Democrats again. They are the ones, right, that have undeveloped the so-called black community. I call it so-called because it's not a community no more. It was at their hand. And a lot of these people that you see right here are responsible. Even Jasmine Hood Rat Crockett, right? All of them are responsible. They never taught blacks how to fish. They said, we'll just give you a fish. We give you welfare. We give you all these other subsidies, trinkets, and trash that won't allow them to be independent, to be able to have the education, right? Being a citizen, teaching them civil responsibility. There's a high percentage of blacks that's not even patriotic in this country. Let's keep it real. Why you think that is? They've been taught that. You have blacks right now that believe no matter what they can do, they're gonna always be you know what? I mean, it's the truth. This is why nothing gets done. And your sorry black leaders, like I talked about yesterday, I gotta bring them up too. They don't escape from this. Because next time I'm gonna put up all the black leaders that have been the enemies of black America as well as in this country as well. Because most of them have a communist ideologies as well, right? They believe in central government, big government. overreaching. They believe in a lot of the laws and stuff, right? These draconian laws and all the rest of stuff. They believe in this stuff too. Some of these so-called black leaders and they puppets that are in journalism. They're all part of the problem. This is why Black America never got better. We lost more wealth in the 1950s than we had today. You had way more homeowners back then, right? You had in neighborhoods. Blacks ain't never had this out of control ass crime and black on black violence and stuff like that. Everybody knew each other. And this was in the heart of segregation, Jim Crow segregation, antebellum South. This where all this stuff was. Blacks lost a lot, and it was because of the Democratic Party. They are responsible. They were the ones that set up segregation too. You really think about it, blacks actually had more buying power and owned more then because of segregation. They said, "Shit, we got to get rid of this because if we keep allowing this to happen, blacks were forced to have to buy from one another." Versus today, blacks have been programmed. Right? Look at it. Go to the suburbs when you go to a nice restaurant. You want to get a good job, right? Say the least. You want to go to a bar, nightclub, whatever it is. You go to the suburbs. Very rare, or downtown now. But before that, people that back in the days in Detroit, you didn't go downtown Detroit unless it was for a game. People in Detroit know what I'm talking about. Because if it wasn't for a baseball game or a hockey game, you didn't go downtown Detroit. Nobody hung downtown Detroit like that. It was unsafe. The city's safe now, but back in the days, it wasn't safe. You see what I'm saying? This is exactly what it is. Yeah, man. So let me get my behind up on out of here. I'm way late and overdue, man. I know you looking for me, man. Damn. But I had to do this, man. Yeah, the festivals and stuff. You're right about that. I mean, because when I was growing up, we still went downtown Detroit. We still did the things. Belle Isle, I'll make it know we used to hang out there even late at night, way before it was a state park. You know, that's the thing about it, man. But yeah, man, yeah, a lot of this stuff is coming from them, and I'm gonna still keep talking about it. I may bring up other things, but this is the main crux of it all. This is why not only America suffers, but the black community suffers so bad because we've been marginalized, we've been disenfranchised. You ain't see one white liberal, right? These liberal elites that kind of think of themselves, they never had any plans to fix it. Just like they used reparations as a dangling carrot. Do they absolutely think, talking about the right, the left was never going to give you reparations. It was never designed to do that. It was designed to keep you on the Democratic slave plantation. Because many blacks vote Democrat because they think that the Democrats are a friend of black folks because they gave them civil rights, and that wasn't even the real civil rights act anyway. Look, if you ever read through it, it's a joke. That watered down, man, that's a joke, man. That's what I'm saying. We got this. The Democrats don't teach blacks how to think for themselves, just like they didn't teach most Americans on the left on how to think for themselves. They said, "Don't worry about doing all the thinking. We're gonna think for you." We're gonna. They don't even believe in transparency. We have less transparency on the left. We have more under Trump right now. Like the ballroom, you got transparency besides of his private donors, but you got transparency on everything else. You know what I'm saying? It's a reason why they call it private donors. It ain't coming out of the taxpayers' dollars. That's all we need to be concerned with. Why are we still trying to make him building a brand new ballroom like it's a problem? But people that don't think for themselves, that's an issue. Because they say, well, we got to know where the money comes from. No, you don't. If it ain't coming out of taxpayers, who cares? That's what matters, right? So yeah, I'm gonna get ready to head on out of here, man. You guys have a good one. Omega 2. I'm gonna do my best to try to do it tomorrow. Yeah, Joe Mama. Not your mama, but Joe Mama. Yeah. I appreciate you coming on. Where's Sherry? Sherry lady. Sherry lady. All right, guys, I'm about to get out. I'm really gonna leave this time. Thank you for the likes, though, too. Thank you for visiting Some Random Guy Speaks. I'm your host once again, Tony. Thank you, and I'll see you on the next one tomorrow. Be there or be square. I appreciate you guys. I do. Oh, I got one more comment at the last minute. Tommy O'Day. Is that African O'Day? Let me do my Nigerian. Tommy O'Day. Trying to you're trying to what's it? Trying to try already did. Trump fixing it. I'm sorry. I'm not making no fun of you, Tommy. I'm just trying to do my best when I talk about because I am one from Nigeria. I am from Lagos originally. Maybe I should just start doing that accent and just go right down and just start doing it. You probably bring more character to it. Think about like, what is this African talking about American politics? There's some Africans that do know about it, don't believe it or not. I appreciate the likes, but I got you, Tommy, man. Thank you so much, guys. I thank you guys for rocking with your boy. Yeah, I am from Nigeria and I want to talk to you. I wanted to talk to you about these people that I put up on my thumbnail print. I want to say how evil they are and how Africa is so beautiful now. And my wife Udaway. I want y'all to meet my wife Udaway one day. I'm just kidding. I'm just joking. I got much love over there, even in Africa too. You guys take care of yourselves, and I'll see you next time. Peace and chicken.